Ellie, what are we doing?
We're making a
doing?
podcast.
Are you sure?
We're trying to make a podcast.
That do be it. So, it's called You, Me, and the Moon. The longer title is You, Me, and the Moon, Late Night Thoughts and Questions. So,
I mean, it is a solid 1 p.m. right now.
do you want the full title?
Bring it.
You, Me, and the Moon, Late Night Conversations and Questions Answered During the Day.
Oh yeah, I have high expectations for this.
So, basically, we're going to start with some intro questions, some weird questions for me, from you, some weird questions from me to you. Then we're going to do a bone to pick because it's the only time I can complain about you to you. We're going to do an interesting fact of the day. I have all of the interesting facts of the day. And then we're going to start with a conversation starter, and then we'll just go from there. Because, we have the ability to talk, and then we have conversation starters that will throw in, the usual.
I would like to know, if we could film this, sitting in the same room, we would. But, at social distancing.
Quarantine. So, that's why we're doing it like this. So, hopefully, when we can be in person, we will.
I want to know, sorry, I already have a question, but I feel like it's an important one.
Go for it.
How did Zoom become a thing? It kind of just appeared out of the woodwork when this whole corona thing started. What?
I hold on, we're going to put a pin in it. I'll write it down and everything because that is a part of our first conversation starter. I ate my pen. There it is.
I ate my Cheez-It.
Oh, I love that for you. Yeah, so that's our first conversation starter. So, I'm going to start, since, I thought of the show, with my questions to Ellie. So we're going to have one deep question and then one fun question. So we're obviously going to start with a deep question, right?
Naturally.
What would you do if you woke up 7 years old but still had your thoughts and memories from now, but you were now 7 years old? In the past, you were 7.
See, my first instinct is to say just go back to bed, but I know that that's not really a long-term solution, but it's still what I would do right off the bat,
Right. You couldn't sit on TikTok in bed.
I could. Well, TikTok wouldn't exist if I was 7.
You also had no phone.
Did we go back into the past?
Yes.
Or is the past now? Yeah. So
you
this would
went
have
back
been
into the past.
Yeah, this would have been the mid-2000s.
This is 13 years ago.
Oh, I have to do all of that again?
Yeah. But you have
high
all
school
of your...
was great and all the first time.
You have all your thoughts and memories, so you could find me immediately and be like, mine.
Can you imagine how trippy it would be? Because I would probably be convinced that I had, dreamed up the whole thing somehow,
right.
Or whatever. It's a really weird dream. So then, in, middle school, I come across you, and I'm just like... What?
So, what would be the biggest thing you would change?
See, that's a really good question. Let's see.
That's why
I'm trying to think
questions.
of any, major things that happened when I was 7.
Well, it wouldn't have to be just when you were 7. 7 leading up to now.
I don't think I really would.
Okay.
I would probably quit getting so many pairs of black glasses, because, the first 3 pairs that I had were all black.
You're wearing black glasses.
They're red.
And black.
That's true. This is the first pair I've had that the outside isn't, completely black.
Cute.
Oh, in middle school, when I told everybody that I actually practiced for band all the time, I would actually practice as often as I said I practiced. Wow.
You'd be so good at the trumpet by now.
I feel like that was like a self-roast right there. Like, yeah. If only I had actually done the things that I told everyone that I did.
I don't think a single band kid actually practices home.
Well, I mean, some of them did. The ones that go to school for music now.
Right.
Those ones.
Though they practiced. Okay.
They practiced.
My second question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe in ghosts?
I want to say no because the alternative scares me.
Follow-up question. Will you go ghost hunting with me?
What? I would accidentally get both of us haunted or something. You know, in
That's
like ghost
fine.
shows, there's
I'm
always
fine with
that
it.
one you know, in like ghost shows, there's that one person where they're like, don't say this or don't do this. I would be that person not listening to the directions. Be like, ooh, what's over there? And then like touch something I wasn't supposed to.
I'm fine with that.
Good to know.
I'm great with being haunted. All right, so I asked my 2 questions. Yes, I do have note cards. Yes, I will be flailing them around. Ellie, your questions for me. I don't know what these are, so.
Well, I have that question that we discussed earlier because we were talking about ghosts. But I want to know how much garlic it actually takes to repel a vampire.
I don't have an answer for that because I cannot say if I'm a vampire or not.
It theoretically.
2.5 cloves.
Okay, good to know.
But they have to be peeled. If they're unpeeled, then it like hides the scent. So you have to peel them. If it's not, then it's 6 unpeeled cloves of garlic.
I feel like I should be taking notes. I also just noticed that not only am I like the same color as this pink wall, but when I hold up my pink water bottle, it becomes like the same color as the door, and it all just kind of blends.
So you're just gonna like disappear.
It was how old was I when we painted this room? 6? Somewhere in there?
You would have painted it just before you went back in time.
And then I would wake up and go, dang, one of these days I'm just gonna blend right into the wall.
Right before I go back 13 years, blending in.
That would be so many years.
That 13. That's the entirety of your school life, is 13 years.
I'm not doing all that again. That's most of Supernatural.
That is. That's correct. Do you have another question for me? Or was that your only one? No? Okay.
Well, I still want to know the Zoom thing, but I feel like we're discussing that later.
We're discussing it later. So,
okay. This
now,
cheese, it doesn't have a hole.
Maybe they just don't have holes anymore. I don't know.
But why not? Why is my video blurry?
I don't know. Now, so we've officially done our intro questions. Now, bone to pick. I have more note cards. Ellie, my first bone to pick with you is why won't you watch Steven Universe with me? I keep asking, I keep planning, you never give me a time, and I say, let's film a podcast, and you answered within 10 minutes, a time and place. Why won't you watch Steven Universe with me?
To be fair, we have this issue where every time you ask that, I'm either doing something else or I have something else. Like, because the last time you asked me, I think you were at work, but I was like already in bed for the night. And
Is
you were
it
still at
because
work.
you don't like me?
I just hate you.
I knew
The
it!
truth comes out.
The truth!
After 2 years on the internet, I have to admit it now. Sorry.
You
Can't
just
do it
hate
anymore.
me. Okay.
Uh-huh.
That's my bone to pick with you. Is that you won't watch it with me. We're gonna find a time though. But did you just see that giant orb?
I did. I think that was from you.
Speaking of ghosts, Jennifer walked through. Jennifer's the ghost who lives in my house. Walking through the shop happens. My second bone to pick is not with you, but with the other person on this podcast. And that would be me.
I was gonna wonder who else we were spontaneously inviting.
No, I have a bone to pick with myself.
Okay.
There have been multiple times in the past couple days where I have gotten the biggest brain farts that I just don't recover from. Why?
It's It's the author backspacing.
They're a bad writer. But it's not even like me forgetting things. It's my brain telling me to do things that I know I shouldn't do. Like, I went to go brush my teeth last night, and for a split second, my brain went, don't forget not to use hand soap while brushing my teeth. And I was like, toothpaste, brain.
Well, yeah.
So for a split
glad you
second,
realized that.
my hand, like, reached for hand soap. What?
It's okay. I spent like 5 minutes earlier trying to. We have this new bottle of hand soap, like the kind with the pump. So you know how sometimes you have to like spin it and let the little thing pop out. So I was spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning, and I couldn't figure out why it wasn't doing anything. And then I just pushed down on the top, and the soap came out. It was already open.
What is with brains?
I don't know.
We should get rid of them, honestly.
We should. It's not like they do anything.
So that's my complaint.
Do you want to hear something uncomfortable that I read on the internet yesterday?
Will it be your interesting fact?
Sure.
There we go. Hit it.
Your bones are always wet.
Yes, except for when you're dead. And then they dry out.
Oh boy.
This is what this podcast is going to be. This is it.
And just think, if there's ever a zombie apocalypse, it will be a very formal occasion.
Sure.
Because you bury people in nice clothes.
So it's a zombie apocalypse when people come back from the dead and they're still covered in goop.
Mm-hmm.
In a zombie apocalypse, do skeletons come back?
Would skeletons still be wearing formal wear?
Well, the clothes don't go away.
People just tie their shoelaces together.
Right.
Then we don't have an issue.
Have metal tops of caskets.
Aren't they already, kind of?
Well, some of them are metal, but most of them are like really nice wood, and then the only thing metal is like the clasps. Did you know, this is my interesting fact, did you know?
Is there something humming in your room right now?
My fan.
Maybe I'm just crazy.
Cool. Did you know the difference between a casket and a coffin is a casket closes, like it has a hinge, and a coffin, you put the top right on.
It's your dog.
Are you a part of my podcast today?
Best friend.
Yeah? Do you want to come here? Have the people see you?
Me.
Come here. Come here. Here's our special guest. Here, I have a bone to pick with you. Since we're still technically in that segment. I have a bone to pick with you, Hubie, my dog. You complain all the time. Like at this moment, you're complaining. And you probably have to go outside. But my mom is here in her office, and you could bug her because I'm busy. But no, it's me.
He's not denying it.
No, he's not. Hi. Now he's just standing on me, and he's gonna jump off.
Bye, best friend.
That's it. That's all he wanted. Cool. Nope, here he comes. Coming back. He's coming back. Come to bug me for something I can't give him. All right. Now he's just gonna lay down in the sun. Okay, whatever. It's all right.
I mean, a big mood, honestly.
Me too. So, that was my interesting fact. My other interesting fact that I learned works last night is I was driving. You know, I worked late, so it was nighttime. I was driving back, and there was a semi-truck, and I was on the right of him, and my front was right at his tail. So we're driving, and he puts his blinker to get into my lane on. And then I slow down, and I think, all right, we're a comfortable distance. I'm okay with him going into my lane. And I learned something if you're going down the highway at night and this scenario happens, and especially because he can't see me very well and he can't judge the distance very well, if you turn, so your headlights are on because it's night, you turn them off and then back on, they'll know that you're comfortable with them merging into your lane. So I turned my headlights off and on, and then he merged into my lane.
Clever.
So,
don't tell me you like Googled that while driving.
No,
on the interstate.
I just knew it. So
okay.
I was comfortable, and he knew I was comfortable, so he was comfortable merging. So we didn't hit each other. That's my fun fact.
That is preferable that you don't.
Hit semis? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Leash. So, there's your interesting fact that you can use. There you go.
I don't talk to anybody but you.
If you're driving, Ellie, not telling. Stupid. Interesting facts are finished. Are you ready for our first conversation starter? Yes. I'm ready to rumble.
Let's go.
First conversation starter that goes in with the Zoom meeting.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk about weird conspiracy theories. Because what better thing to do late at night when you're laying in bed staring up at the ceiling trying to go to bed than think about weird conspiracy theories?
It's a mood, honestly.
So, the reason this has to do with Zoom is that some people believe that Zoom knew that COVID-19 was going to be a big deal, so they were like, and they helped spread it all over the US, so then when schools closed, everybody used their software.
I mean, I feel like there would be easier ways to become a prominent video calling software, like hacking Skype or something.
I didn't say it was a good conspiracy theory. I just said it was a conspiracy theory.
Right. Well, I'm just thinking, like, if you're gonna go to all of that work for, like, internet takeover, wouldn't you go the logical, easier route?
You would think. That's it.
That's the whole statement?
Yep. So I don't know where Zoom came from.
It just kind of, like,
it appeared. And then everybody
like,
started using it.
Yeah, they're like, we're gonna use it for class, for school, and then it's, like, used for everything. We're only using it now, by the way, because in Skype we couldn't figure out how to put each other's windows next to each other.
Yeah, Skype, figure yourself out.
Yeah. Even though my Skype video quality was better than whatever blurriness is happening here.
Blame Zoom.
Why? Stop that. It keeps making me the same color as this wall on purpose.
Well, I heard of Zoom before the whole shutdown because I wasn't going to be going to my Spanish class because I was sick or whatever. And my professor was like, "Oh, just come in on Zoom." And I was like, "I don't know what that is." And so I had to like Google it and like find out like how to use it. And then I just didn't do it because, you know, I'm a bad student.
You didn't just ask your professor how it works?
Do you think he knows? He's a German professor, a fluent German speaker, is teaching my Spanish class.
10 out of 10.
And then it came up and I was like, whoa, weird. Do you know of any weird conspiracy theories, or do you believe in any conspiracy theories?
I feel like I don't usually believe in them because I'm choking on a Cheez-It.
You don't believe in them because you're choking on a Cheez-It?
Yes, exactly.
Cool.
Cheez-Its rule all.
Wow.
Anyway, because I'm too, like, science-y. Like, I mean, sometimes I'm not logical at all, but I feel like normally it's just, like, they're too out there for me to really, like, get behind and be like, that seems plausible, because usually it doesn't.
Right.
You feel?
Right. We have a mutual friend who has a weird conspiracy theory.
Oh?
They don't believe lizards exist. Because they've never seen one in person. So no lizard exists.
Do they live in Antarctica?
No, they lived here. We graduated high school with them.
Yeah, we're gonna have to talk about who that is later.
This specific person had a brother who believed the moon wasn't real. That the moon is fake. It's a hologram in the sky. There are fun conspiracy theories.
Oh my god. But it's stuff like that, like, it's one of those, yeah, I've never been to the moon, so I can't, like, prove the moon exists. But as a scientist, I feel inclined to, like, that other scientists are telling the truth.
Right.
Because I know how hard this is and how big of a pain it is. So you gotta imagine that they're, like, they know what they're doing. She pulled my own hair.
Right. Well,
What?
so that one's
What?
pretty out there. What?
You cut off. My internet connection is unstable.
Stop that. So, believing the moon isn't real is a little, out there. So, do you think we landed on the moon?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, we could go word to map, like...
I did see something once that, like, humanity used to actually reside on Mars, but then we messed up that, like, environment so bad that it became uninhabitable, so they sent people here.
That's believable.
And now we're doing it again.
Another conversation starter.
I just bit my tongue.
I have one easy one and then one difficult one. So we'll start with the easy one, and then if we have time, we'll go into the more difficult one. If not, we'll save it for next time. So, I want your thought process on this one. Because I thought of it last night. Sorry. I thought about it last night laying in bed, because that's always when I think about this. So, people a long time ago used to have handkerchiefs, and that's how they blew their nose and stuff. When did a person decide that their handkerchief was too dirty to continue using? And did they wash it or throw it away?
I feel like it would depend on how rich you are. Because if you could afford someone else to do your sewing, then you would just throw it away and get somebody else to, like, stitch you up a new one. But if you couldn't, or you couldn't afford the fabric, then you would just give it a little... I mean, I would probably give it, like, a little rinsey rinse at least every day. And just, like, hang it up like a washcloth.
With us now, we use one Kleenex every time we blow our nose and then throw it away. So, like, was it, like, you got one good nose blow a day? Or, like...
I feel like it would depend on your standards, to be perfectly honest.
But then you'd have to put it and then the inside of your pockets are all yucky.
Well, that's why you fold it.
Disgusting. Handkerchiefs are disgusting.
You're not wrong. They completely are. They're more environmentally friendly, but they're disgusting.
All right, we have time for this last question, and then we gotta, because we're running out of storage apparently. So here's my question. Now this one's a real thinker, and it's an actual real thinker. I'm not goofing you. If the concept of time and scheduling didn't exist, what would your day look like?
Well, then that begs to differ, because if, like, scheduling doesn't exist, then we couldn't even have, like, the society structure that we do right now.
Right.
So it would be more like, I mean, I was just listening to a lecture on birds earlier and how they use photo periods for things, so, like, how much light is in the day. And they just, like, base, like, migration stuff off of that. But apparently in humans, we have, what's it called? Like, I'll think of the word in, like, 20 minutes, probably. But, like, your internal, like, timekeeping mechanism or whatever that tells you, like, when you need to do things. It's better in most other animals than people because we use artificial lighting. So it skews our brain's idea of, like, a photo period, because even at night after the sunset, it could still be perfectly bright in your room or in the town or whatever, because there's artificial lights.
Interesting.
So I feel like we'd all be a lot better at going to bed when the sun set and getting up when it rose.
Well, here's a fun fact for you. In medieval times, before they had, like, watches and everything, they had, when they would have meetings, they would say, you know, around noon or around the middle of the day or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Because it took everybody so long to, like, get dressed and, like, have breakfast and, you know, like, take care of the animals. So everything was very general. Like, time was very general of, like, I'll meet you tonight. And then you just did your stuff until they showed up. And you're like, all right, I guess it's tonight now. So I feel like that's how we would do it. But but, like, when would you wake up? What would you do during the day? Like, if there was, so let's think very hypothetically.
Mm-hmm.
No school, no work, but you have a house. That happens, you're medieval times. You're a rich aristocrat.
I mean, I guess I would.
So you didn't have to work.
I would think about all of the new handkerchiefs that I would get.
Going back to handkerchiefs, always a good thing. My wall of handkerchiefs.
My wall of handkerchiefs. Yes, look at all these handkerchiefs. This is a pillow, by the way.
This is my whiteboard towel, not a handkerchief.
Oh, well, what are you doing with your life if you don't have a handkerchief? I have a whole box
sanitary.
Of them. Do you get it?
I do. It's just stupid. Stupid.
I feel like that frame is just like a summary of our whole friendship.
Stupid. So, you're wealthy. So you don't have to go to school. You don't have to work. You have no responsibilities. What do you...
Sounds impeccably dull. I would probably spend my whole life looking for a husband. Because what else is there to do?
You know what? Maybe that's why they were so sexist back then. Women were just bored and they were like, I guess I'll get a husband.
I guess I'll spend 18 hours trying to put on this dress corset thing. Ow.
Ellie was a stupid and ripped her headphones out of her ears.
I did, in fact, I went to gesture and I pulled on the cord and just yanked them straight out of my... I should have used my wireless ones.
Should have.
Oh.
Now we know for next time. So, I'll re-ask the question. It's instead of medieval times, nowadays times. Still rich, don't have to go to school, don't have to go to work. What do you do? When do you get up? What do you do?
Probably the same thing.
Watch lectures of birds?
No, look for a hut. If time didn't exist... Wait, time. If time didn't exist.
If time was non-existent.
It's just... Are any of us really here?
That's my question to you for next week.
Great.
So figure it out by then. Find a husband.
I'll probably also get a different background because this whole being the same shade as this wall thing.
Yeah, not the best look on you. I mean, I was expecting your answer to be like, I'd get up when the sun rose and I would get a garden or read new books or not get a husband.
Well, see, then the trick becomes once I have one, what do I do?
Right. So you have a husband, what do you do?
Have kids?
I hate your guts. Not even like YouTube or...
I thought we were still talking about medieval times.
No.
Well, even in current times, like, if a time structure scheduling thing didn't exist, would we still have the same technology? Because, like, people wouldn't be going to work routinely and this and that and...
Let's say hypothetically yes. You can still make content. So instead of like no scheduling, like you wouldn't like you'd go to the movies and they'd be like, it starts in a bit and you're like, okay, and then you just walk in and the movie starts and it's 2 hours of movie. So like time exists. But you're not like, oh my god, I have to do this and then this and then this.
Your question is if movie theaters worked the same as bus stops.
Yes. Let's imagine a world where time is bus stop time.
Oh gosh.
What would you do?
Well,
Get
I
a
would-
husband and kids.
get a husband. Yeah, that's it. That's my life story right
That's
there.
it. We've now
Would I still have
learned
to go to school?
probably to have a society, people would have to go to school, but it would be really
But it would be. Everything would have to be like pre-recorded.
right. I mean, you'd get to school when you got to school, and you went home when you were done for the day.
I am sleeping till noon.
Right. Like, you'd sleep till noon, you'd walk in, you'd do your stuff, you'd go home. Like, if you got there at noon, you'd probably go home at like 6. You ate when you were hungry.
Bro, this morning I had to get up to register for classes, and I had to get up at like 6:30 to do it.
Can
But
I
I also didn't have a lecture till 9, so I just went back to bed.
We love that. Can I have a confession?
Always.
So it's currently the 8th, and my day to register for classes was the 1st, and I have yet to do it. But I mean, like, I should, but I have possible plans for the fall. So, like, signing up for classes is my backup. Like, classes are my backup.
You may as well, like, as a just in case, because then you're at least in, like, have a better chance of being in the classes that you want.
Right. But, like, all of my classes are, like, most of my classes for next semester are in my major. And I have very small classes because I'm in a very small major.
Mm-hmm.
So getting into them isn't very hard, especially because I've done most of the gen eds for my major. So it's just, like, specialty classes.
Oh, I got you.
So, I mean,
I still have gen eds left.
I mean, I still have some gen eds left. I'm finishing Spanish in the summer. Because
I'm taking history this fall for the first time since, like, junior year of high school.
Cute. I
4
cannot
years.
help you.
That's 4 years apart.
Does that make you feel old?
It does. But it's also a completely online class, so I'll take it.
We love that. My Spanish class is online.
Ooh.
So I think it's going to be exactly what it's like now.
Probably.
If you didn't know this will be our final question. If you didn't know how old you were, how old would you think you are?
Well, I look 12.
Okay?
We'll just start with, except for that random guy at the gas station once that said I looked at least 13.
Go that guy.
We were talking about Harry Potter shoes.
Yes, where we got our lottery tickets that we didn't win. Yeah. Or we're both adults and children.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But, like, internal, like, emotional, moral.
Well, I feel like I'm 40. I did some raking yesterday. And I think I pulled a muscle in my shoulder.
I think that means you have to, like, stretch more.
I should. Well, my left, like, the muscle in my left shoulder blade is really not happy with me today.
I feel that. My shoulders are really upset all the time because I hunch when I work on, like, animation and stuff. Just, like, you can tell by the amount my shoulders slouch. Because, like, this is how I should sit. And this is how I do. Yeah, that means you really need to stretch it.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Final thoughts.
This has been good. I like this.
Good. You contractually obligated to do it for at least one more episode.
I can live with that.
It wouldn't work if I put episode 1 and then we never did it again. So
I mean, it would still be episode 1, but it would just be a permanently to be continued.
Right. So we have to do at least episode 2 so it makes sense on why we're numbering episodes.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Any other final thoughts? Weird thoughts?
My brother coughed.
Oh.
Why did my audio just gave up on life?
That's fine.
Sorry, you're gonna have to edit that file now, but
That's fine. Great. I'll just finish with this audio. Any final thoughts? No?
I think
Poppy?
that's all I got.
Any final thoughts? You can't see, but my hand is out. He left the room.
I believe that is his final thought.
That is his final thought. This was great. Did you like the structure, or should I be more relaxed?
I mean, I'm sitting on the floor leaning against a pillow. I'm not sure I can get any more relaxed.
No. Like conversation relaxed.
Oh,
not like
I think it worked.
physically. Okay.
Let us know in the comments.
Like it if you liked it. I'm hoping this will be a weekly thing, but we'll see how weekly we can get.
Do you see the extreme skepticism?
That's why I said I hope.
Do we need to look back at how many videos you've posted this year?
Did you know that I'm pretty sure it's 1?
Is it? I thought it was none.
No, because you did a Facebook update where you ate a bunch of Cheez-Its.
Oh, right. So it is 1. I did do the 1. Where I said I'd get back into it and then I didn't. I think I figured out my issue with the Minnesota video. I think my computer was so full that it couldn't export it.
Oh.
So I think I'm going to edit this and then put it on YouTube, delete this, so then I have 48 gigabytes on my computer and then export it.
So make sure you guys go check out that one. I don't know which side
Hopefully.
of the screen it's on.
I don't know how it flips it. So go check that out.
Somewhere,
hopefully. So hopefully that'll work. Hopefully we'll do this again sometime really soon. It took me so long to think of the title.
And to write it backwards.
And I really hope that it's actually backwards, because this is what, like, that's what it looks like writing forward. So, like,
here's hoping.
Because if not, I'll be really sad. So, hopefully we'll be doing that. Hopefully we'll be doing this more often. If you have any weird questions to ask, we'll ask them to each other, because there is no weird question between us. We've been friends for too long for that.
How are we ending this video? Because we both do different outro things.
Well, what is my outro? I'll see you when I see you.
It has been a while since you filmed.
It's been like 2 months. It's fine. Alright, well, I'll see you when I see you.
I'll see you next time. I'm gonna stop this on the...
Alright, I'll stop the recording in this.